salon des chansons. You might mention that you and Susie Salon des chansons. With the tree by Jose Luis Gonzalez.
Ah.
Nice.
And the ceilings by Michelangelo.
It bears his artistic signature.
I saw you, you're a very good friend with Blondie. I love that woman. First of all, I listen to all her music all the time.
Of course.
Because to me, Greenwich Village, New York, is always, it's like just kind of, when I have that bad mood, Blondie will make you happy.
She was
Right there, but
Do you still keep in touch with her?
I talked to her only basically. I just spoke to her.
Oh, she's so cool.
master, don't
I
master.
talked to her.
Gosh, this is wild. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm good,
right?
well, I don't know. It's confusing times.
This is an opposite.
Right.
Oh my god. How are you? You guys know the Spanish artist here, this is the lead. There was fabulous artist. He's not a good looking guy, but he is this artist is unbelievable.
Thank you guys.
Awesome. Are you going to use your phone?
Who's Blondie?
I think that's better.
She's an opposite?
No, she's a fabulous rock music and
Yeah.
70s, he knows very well.
Okay.
80s, 70s, like a huge, very famous. Let's go over.
Alright, so we'll go over here.
You know Blondie, right? Oh my god, can you tell them a little bit about Blondie, because they want to know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, she knows her music. Heart of Glass.
I do, but
Pride
it's
is
very
High.
young.
Okay.
That's 18.
Okay.
Yeah,
One, two,
Valerie.
Oh, she has amazing
No, they
music.
don't know the other
And-
ones. She's like, who else was big?
Thank you.
Lou Reed
Sign your
and,
book, just so.
television and who's the other?
Very New Yorker, like very. And then she's blonde, so when she was very young.
Ramones.
Mm-hmm.
Her
Yep.
style is very
Oh,
cool. It's very
you
No,
know,
you wouldn't know anything.
when she was super young, she was so blonde and
Punk was not
beautiful.
international.
So when she played and sing the song, she's so gorgeous. Always see the blonde hair and very fantastic sex singer. So if you took any drugs and you drink lots of alcohol, listen to Blondie. I love that. It's a great
Happy
combination.
20 cards.
My neighbor's like
You got
taking
me
the broom and
a
knocking
gift.
the
I'm
walls.
giving you a card. You're such a bad person.
Because I feel like
No, not bad at all.
very cool music.
Oh.
It's so good to see you. I'm so glad I could make it out.
And she started out as a model.
Means a lot to
She was a
me.
very beautiful model.
Yes.
Yes, very.
Do you want to write to?
They said you can start.
And
You can start now. You're live on YouTube.
No.
I didn't.
Have you guys met?
I didn't read it.
Just,
Is there
I mean,
anything
that's
on
just
the
like
side?
what the introduction you gave us. Nick.
I guess, yes, whatever you feel in your heart.
What do you mean?
And by the way, this is my friend. He's the very famous Korean artist.
Oh, yeah, you were saying about his painting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
This
abstract.
is the guy right here.
Oh,
That's
cool.
amazing. I mean, it's just a reflection of the efforts you poured into it.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I think so.
I'm here because I know this guy and his draw and
It's art. Dream. That's the best right there. Is that really? Wow, that's fabulous.
And he told me about this whole thing. We make music together, so
Oh, cool.
I figured, why not come and show up to a fire thing and meet fire people?
Absolutely, you know.
Because normally this is
It's the creative spot right here.
like
30 years old.
like these types of things used to be a normal weekend in the city.
Yeah, no, no.
I know, but where's the question? He's not coming. Oh,
Okay.
I mean, this is testimony since December.
you want to send me his number?
That is the
that's always a
Always
good
a good
Live on YouTube, wow.
I took
Well, I
my
mean,
daughter
just-
to like once a day.
Just very people
Oh,
tuning in.
she loved it.
So I have to take it from my phone.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
She loved
More.
it.
Oh, something.
I mean, I could start whenever I
Huh?
come to join us.
You know, I always want black and white.
No.
Okay, check this out. See what I'm working on right now.
718
Oh, wow.
Look at this extravagant dress. I
915
always been black and white first.
Beautiful.
Delicious. And this is beautiful swordfish. White fish.
It's a pretty big art, right?
do an introduction. Should I just go into it?
I love you using the, oh my god, so gorgeous.
Yeah. So I always paint a black and white first.
I never noticed that.
That's my little secret. That's how I create contrast.
I always think when you do like a lot of deep colors and strong colors, and that's just my,
I bring back the color because that's one of the number one things. I love the colors. One time we get to drink first. Congrats.
Thank you very
I'm
much.
excited. I'm gonna do. Oh, there we go.
Meg, she wrote the book. It's right here on her page.
I know. He's telling me all about it.
And I spent 3 hours to learn about her country.
Nice to meet you, Jen.
Absolutely.
Very interesting girl.
Wow.
Have you ever been to Africa?
I have not.
I was asking
One of my mentors, when I went to GW, one of my professors, he's a sculptor from Africa. So I think some of the aesthetics influence some of my marketing. So maybe not here, but here.
I did.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, makes sense. Thank you. True.
I mean, I can do a box.
Okay.
Well, I mean, there's going to be a question and answer session, so if you have any questions.
Of course we will. Don't worry about that.
He actually plays the drum, so I was
Okay.
maybe.
Let me see what the drum is.
It's in the other
Huh?
room. Over here, right? No, no, it's in the other room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but,
That's the one.
Relax, sleep home.
Yeah, and you got a beautiful daughter.
Thank you.
She's so gorgeous.
Yeah, my daughter Maria, and my daughter, she can stay, she will shoot you. Because of the, depends on the weather, and
Right.
she's so lazy, like, the only she comes on is in her Uber.
Oh my gosh.
Kids are just spoiled.
Of course. That's the nature of beast.
It's not me, it's so Maria.
No, you like the walk.
Pardon?
You love the walk. Yeah, likewise. I like to squat.
How's your girlfriend?
That's good.
She cooked. I saw her yesterday this morning. I was so upset. I'm like, what the? She's cooking now.
Sometimes it's a mess.
She,
Sometimes it's
what is that? She make like a little oval.
So she's always trying new things.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, no, I mean like her go-tos are delicious.
Nice.
Yeah, coconut shrimp, like all that.
I saw them actually. I saw them.
I did like it.
It's a message you when. So you just want me to be playing lightly through the whole thing?
yeah, just wherever is fine, but if you want to sit down, if you want to, just lightly.
After dinner, why she disappeared?
See, we're doing it. I'm done.
You'll be surprised. The is the largest percentage of people separate, divorced. It's the number one.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Christmas.
Welcome to Susie's Salon de Chanson here at the mansion. We feature performances and art by various artists, and there's a designer, Jose Gonzalez, in the parlor in front. Go visit him. Tonight we have TAIWO ALOBA reading from Surulere, Lagos, about where she comes from. And it's a piece I was introduced to, and I found it amazing and provocative and sensual, and you can hear the street and the people and their language, which is, you might have to refer to the glossary to understand some of it, but it's very beautiful, and I hope you enjoy it tonight. And hold it, we have our rhythm section. Is that you, King?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Perfect timing. King Downing in the house. Just arrived to replace our very talented stand-in. And what was your name, sir?
Nick.
Nick was going to, be king. Believe it. But instead we have the real king. You're up whenever you get here.
Okay.
But I'll keep talking
Okay.
as we continue on. So this is presented in collaboration with Nicole, Imani Nicole Jones of Find Your ID NYC. Find Your NYC. KEYMOUS. Find FYIDNYC.com. Please go there and see the amazing organization that Imani has created with the help of so many talented people, including TAIWO, who I met through a casting session we did at Ideal Glass for a fashion show we did here. And TAIWO is, in case you don't know, also an amazing dancer and choreographer and performer. But she choreographed a fashion show of my brand just before we get here. So, a little bit of the backstory of this amazing, talented person who will soon be reading from Surulere, Lagos. And in case you don't know what that means, it's a part of the capital of what used to be the capital of Nigeria. Lagos used to be. Anyway, are you King? Oh, King's still getting to his throne. So, approaching now is a gentleman who can be heard on WBAI every Wednesday morning at 6 a.m.
Monday through Thursday.
Monday through Thursday,
works
6
hard for the
a.m. He works hard for that money. And I had the pleasure of being on that show, as well as my great Susie. And here we are. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, TAIWO ALOBA, King Downing, Surulere, Lagos.
Thank you all so much. Thank you, Will. Thank you, Find Your ID NYC. Thank you all so much for coming out. And everyone watching from home, thank you all so much for joining us. I'll be presenting some of my new works from my new chapbook, Surulere, Legos, and I hope you all enjoy it. I will also open it up to questions later. So if you have any questions, start thinking about them. Well, obviously, if you have them, just keep them in your head till we're done, and then you can ask them. So I'm going to wait for our percussionist, Mr. King, before we start.
Mr. is my father.
Oh. Well, you know, I'm Nigerian.
No, I know. I know the tradition.
Yeah. So we always have to. Okay. can't take my mask off. Whew, feels good. Okay, I mean, I could say a little bit about myself and my book, While We Wait, just to keep you all entertained. So my name is TAIWO ALOBA. I'm sure most people who are watching from home probably know me. I'm more popular as a model, but I'm also a writer, and this has been a really good journey for me, being able to express myself creatively through poetry. And this year, I know a lot of people have so many stories to tell, but you know, it gave me the opportunity to actually take my time and create this work that I'm about to share with you all tonight. And you know, I hope people who haven't got the book yet, I hope after tonight you can buy it and read it and enjoy it. And I hope this, you know, gives you more insight of what the book is about, my inspiration, my story. Yeah, so I don't know, what else can I say about myself that's interesting? I've lived in New York for 2 years now, and it's been really interesting, huge culture shock. But you know, I grew up in Lagos, which is also a big city like New York, so I'm kind of used to, you know, sorry, I was going to say rowdiness. I hope I'm not going to offend any New Yorker by saying that. But you know, just the intensity, or whenever I hear people complain about Times Square has, you know, so crowded. I'm like, I grew up in Lagos. It's crowded every day. Like even 4 a.m. in the morning, everyone is hustling. Like that's the hustling capital of Africa. Like everyone is like, you know, it's like if you can make it in Lagos, you can make it anywhere. It's you know, like it's been great to be here. Like I said, it was a culture shock, but there are also some similarities. But you know, reflecting on like or creating work that I can identify with, start again. I want to create work that about Africa, about Lagos, growing up in Lagos. Because at first I started with like an identity map, you know, so like what are the things that have shaped me into the person I am today, how I relate with people, you know, how I, you know, the kind of energy I put into the work I do. And, you know, everything all just came back to me growing up in Lagos, and that energy that it gives you, even though there's so many problems, you know, everyone reads about it. But, you know, there's just something, the energy is really infectious and magnetic. And I'm really glad that I could put, you know, obviously I didn't put everything into this. It's just a chapbook. It's like a compact work. But, you know, obviously I could share some of my story here. All right. So, yeah, I'll probably have to sip water before I continue. 1 second, or 2, or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So please give it up for Mr. King. Mr. King. And thank you so much once again, Find Your Idea NYC. Thank you, Mr. Will, Ideal Glass. It's amazing. Thank you for having us. So I'm going to start with one of my favorite poems from the book. It's on chapter 5, and it is titled Sunday's Empty Lottery. In the charcoal grey light of Lagos, Sunday, a daydreaming every man, with horizontal tribal scars carved into his cheeks, sold his radio to play Baba Jebu in an auto repair yard after washing the feet of market women in Mushin. Sunday arrived in Ojo Elegba 5 years ago, after spending 4 years for a 2-year course to get his OND award in his hometown. He blamed his townspeople for his misfortunes, as humorless street urchins shake him down for daring to sleep on their pile of sand. He plans to sell pirated DVDs on Todd Milan Bridge so that he can raise money to play the lottery tomorrow. As Sunday designs different modes of employment, the kleptocratic local council chairman, with a closed fist and 4 extra stomachs, appoints his deceased cousin, twice removed, as a special assistant on happiness and unmarried women affairs, and says to the candidate who came to seek his blessing, "What do you have for me today?" Thank you. Again, that is titled Sunday's Empty Lottery. I'm just going to go on to the next one. And you can ask me any question about it once I'm done with this one. So this next poem is on page 8. The poem is titled Objection to a Meeting. An invited guest beat us with tree branches and seeded conflict, reduced urgent hunger to a ritual of mournful deceit. Then there was a song we never sang. It got caught in our throats, and the electrical poles in the street. Years passed, and time bets lazy roads with accident stores at every junction. On Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, a mediocre mechanic with famished eyes and chewing stick in his mouth. 40 naira agege bread, meant for 2, served to 7 tender mouths. Congratulatory messages to a time server on a new appointment fills the headlines. Tomato sellers in Yaba wearing work boots so they can run faster with their goods when they hear the train approaching. Men with sand in their eyes taking up residence at Monkey Tail joints. So, if amelioration is a romantic idea, dust your hand and return the white chairs to the garage. Thank you. That was Objection to a Meeting. Do you think I should go on, or does anyone have any questions?
Go slower. I'd love to
Okay,
hear.
I could do that.
Love to do that one again.
Oh, I could do that again. Okay, so we're doing Objection to a Meeting. Now, page 8. I'm going to take it really slow, as much as I can.
Thank you.
An invited guest beat us with tree branches and seeded conflict, reduced urgent hunger to a ritual of mournful deceit. Then there was a song we never sang. It got caught in our throats, and the electrical poles in the street. Years pass, and time bets lazy roads with accident stores on every junction. On Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, manned by a mediocre mechanic with famished eyes and a chewing stick in his mouth. 40 naira agege bread, meant for 2, served to 7 tender mouths. Congratulatory messages to a time server on a new appointment fills the headlines. Tomato sellers in Yaba wearing work boots so they can run faster when their goods, when they hear the train approaching. Men with sand in their eyes, taking up residence at Monkey Tail joints. So, If amelioration is a romantic idea, dust your hand and return the white chairs to the garage. That's it. Was it slow or should I go slower?
That was right.
That was good.
That was good.
That was really good.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll try to go slow going forward. I still have my Legos energy. Go, 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 go. But I'll try to take it slow. All right. So should I go to another one? Okay. Mental note to take it slow. So now I'm going to read Legos Girls. This is on page 14. It's quite a long one, but I'll get through it. Okay. I am Amina from Zaria. I am Agbani from Borno. I am Adasa from J-Town. I am Nengi from Niger Delta. I am Adiza from Zamfara. I am Esisi from Warri. I am Sisi Nene from Lekki. I am Madame Koforola. I am Erelu from Isaleko. I am Oluchi from Ojuelegba. I am Ekemini from Akwa Ibom. I am Moremi from Offa. I am Funlola from Kwara. I am Kudira from Falomo. I am Awa from Sokoto. I am Simbi from Aja. I am Sulia from Badagry. I am a Unilag babe. I am Laraba from Lawansin. I am Omodara from Daliko. I am Ungozi from Yanopaja. I am Yaya from Agege. I am Iyami Leko. I am Bonike from Idumota. I am Idia from Benin. We ate African salad with bean cakes steamed in banana leaves and golden plantain wrapped in Monday morning newspapers in a sun-dappled veranda. We picked beans half-heartedly after playing 10-10. We plucked bell apples from our neighbor's tree. We removed the candle wax from rusty candle stands. We refilled the kerosene lanterns after sweeping ashes from the kitchen. We fetched water from the well with our homemade plastic water bailers. We ate eba and ewedu with tilapia fish on a green raffia mat. We watched When You Are Mine on AIT at 9 p.m. and shouted to ask the neighbor if he could reduce the volume of the radio Lagos news. We swatted off fat mosquitoes with hand fans as we sat on our balconies and listened to our neighbor tell stories about the Abia Women's Riot in Queen's English. A Nigerian verb teaches that other people's wisdom prevents the king from being called the fool. So, we planned another day like this, since our voices are the same timbre. Thank you. Should I keep going or any questions? Okay. All right. Thank you. Feeling good? Yeah. This next one is quite personal because, well, they all are. The poems are, you know.
What makes this one something that you feel inclined to even say it's personal? It's got to be something special in that regard.
Yeah, because it took me a while to actually decide to share it. And I still took some creative license with it. So I tweaked some things. It's not like the full story.
Well, I'm excited to hear it as you want it told.
Yeah, well, hopefully it resonates with you. Okay, well, here goes nothing.
What page you?
So this is page 17. You can't wear colored berets on campus. It was initially titled, You Can't Wear Yellow Berets on Campus. But I had to change. I had to change it. Hopefully someday I can share this story the way I want to. But for now, we'll just go with this version.
Understood.
Yeah. But colored berets, yellow, green, primary colors, secondary colors. Choose any color. Okay, so here it goes. You can't wear colored berets on campus. Page 17. 7:03 p.m. The charcoal gray sky convened for sailing and peeled me from a pleasant walk to my hostel on campus into the presence of a scorned secret society captain. We will teach you a lesson. His breath heavy with a very dense local herbal concussion. Head hunched as horror began to swell. I swallowed my breath as I stood under the mango tree. The mango tree released yellow leaves into gentle crashes. With my heartbeat caught in the seams of his fingers, he planted the fear of God in me, that my horsewhip wielding mathematics teacher couldn't instill in me. He seized my heartbeat like the footsteps of my step auntie walking into the bedroom as I lay down under a bed with a stolen slice of birthday cake in my hand and icing on my face. 8:56 p.m. The ashes of dead tears lay on my brown cheeks. Hope had melted quickly, like a plastic exposed to the heat of a fire, as the captain and his goons led me through thick stands of large trees towards the campus exit. Conscious only of the wet grass on my white trainers, as a kaleidoscope of frenzied thoughts hovered over my head. Apologies to the hours wasted watching action films. I need a stunt double. If I get out of this, I am going to make all the primary colors in my wardrobe disappear. 8:59 p.m. By a blur of jaw-dropping luck, I clutched my chest and ran as fast as my fearful heart would let me, leaving my BlackBerry phone in the hands of the vicious beast. I ran because the captain of an overcrowded secret society told me in a thin language of terror, to disappear. Thank you. That was fun. Thank you. So any questions still? Shall I keep going?
What do you find to be the biggest motivator behind your art? Do you feel like it comes from an experiential place or an emotional place?
For this work in particular, I would say both. it was really about like finding my identity and creating something around it. And growing up in Lagos, especially Surulere, I grew up in Surulere. I was born in Surulere, so my life revolved around this area, this particular area, and it was important for me to, you know, delve into what, you know, shaped me as an artist, as a person. So yeah, I think. And I think going forward, you know, most of my art is always going to have some, you know, elements of Lagos, of Nigeria, of African art, because that's, you know, where I get most of my inspiration from. So, yeah, that's about it. I don't know if there's much I can say. Okay, the rest will be need to dance. I wish it was just dancing and not like reading, but.
That can happen at any time.
Yeah.
Dancing is always allowed.
Thank you. I used to always shy away from that because when I was in secondary school, first I went to a Baptist secondary school where we were like 105 students in one class, so nobody paid attention to you. And then in senior secondary school, I was transferred to a private school where we were just like 10 in the class. So, you know, everyone, you know, that was focused on each student, and you had to join a club. So I was like, yeah, you know, I don't know what I want to do, but I'll probably just join the drama club because, well, I mean, all the fine boys are there. I'm just being honest here, thank you. You know, and I did, and I was like, oh wow, this is fun, you know, and I could just dance, and I don't have to like join the debate club or something. Yes, you know, cool, sign me up. And you know, that's kind of how I got into dancing and just performance art, and it only made sense for me to, you know, just keep going in that direction. But you know, I would always like to share stories too, and you know, this is performance art to me, like me writing, you know, this is art. You know, hopefully, you know, somebody else can perform it better than I am doing now. But, you know, this is all part of my, you know, expression, forms of expression, dancing, writing, you know. You have no idea how grateful I am that I can share stories like this, you know, authentic stories, authentic stories, you know, that actually do come from the heart, you know, and I'm really glad that I could share it with everyone here and hopefully people online too. And if you haven't bought it, please buy. Please, thank you. I'm dancing again. All right, so I will read another poem. If you all will let me, I can read another poem, right? Yes? No, okay. Oh yeah, that's it, yeah. It's my show. No. Okay, so I'm going to jump to page 23. This is titled Cartwheeling Through Questions of Candor and Creativity in a Gaslit World. My stepmother is rolling on the floor of the guest room. Under the influence of the Holy Spirit, or brave acting, hands in entire surrender, mouth full of fierce fire, shouting tongues without translation, to smother seasonal appetites for a list of midnight skinned scenes, imagined creatures, and to offer supplications for my faithless father, until she succumbs to an eerie trance. An unbleached misery floods the air as we all watch in wonder on unsteady ground. She asks for indomie and fried eggs an hour after our encounter with the Holy Spirit, to appease a fear-stained face, or to conquer hunger after a stunning performance. That's it. So this particular poem, I mean, I feel like people have to read it to actually Understand it?
Okay.
It's under the session Nollywood and the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Sorry, I should say that again. Nollywood, the Four Horsemen of the Nollywood, the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse and the Church. I got that right finally. So was actually influenced by well, the major theme for this one is the deep immorality among some of who I should take that again. Sorry, I don't know what is going on. It's getting late already. Deep immorality among some who style themselves as custodians of religion and politics. So yeah, that was like the big theme for it. And religious fanaticism, I hope I said that correctly, is quite huge where I come from. And, you know, I try not to talk about it because the things they tell you not to talk about as an African or as a Nigerian, especially if you grew up in a religious home, like you can't talk about religion or politics in public. You can always do that at home, you know, like break heads and stuff. But once you go out, you can't talk about religion, you know, it's blasphemy. You can't, you know, like, so, you know, it was really, this is like a really bold step for me to actually, like, you know, put some of my thoughts into words and for people to actually read them. So, you know, I hope people buy it and read it and have a better understanding, you know, and also do more research about, you know, religion in Nigeria. Page 23. And I have nothing against religion. I should just put that out there in case my mom is listening. Okay, so, okay, I'm going to jump forward. Okay, this is another long one. I mean, and I think maybe after this one, you know, I'm just going to open it up to questions or just talk more. I don't know if I can talk more, but I can open it up to questions after this one. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me after this one. So this poem is on page 12. It is titled Scenes from a Saturday in Lansing. Morning. The familiar crackling sound of a stainless steel fork on a show glass awakens the street's lifeblood. There's a large Chelsea FC logo on a cow tied to the thick tree by the Baba Ijebu kiosk. The village headmaster and Teacher Chike are conversing on NTA 2, Channel 5, on a kerosene seller's television. A rat lies dead in the middle of the street. Wearing a black body hug with black tiro and plenty pancake on her face, Nkiru is threatening to show someone pepper inside a poorly built face me I face you home. Afternoon. The sun is speaking clearly with a Afternoon. The sun is speaking clearly. After waiting in long lines for diesel in the harsh heat of the sun, a group of downfall bus conductors in a motor park are dancing and singing. If you marry taxi driver, I don't care, with lively faces. The compound's busybody and basket mouths are singing the ballads of the day as at the water well. There is a search for an Omoluabi in a house of backhand slaps, horsewhips, and 50 chaotic strokes of the cane. Barrister lawyer is wrestling sleep in Iya Calabar's restaurant. Evening. Area boys are hailing a local champion with empty pockets, who is quick to shout, "Container is still on the high sea," when the debt collector comes knocking. City dwellers are entrailed by the scent of groundnut powder and spicy roasted meat on hot charcoals at the University of Suya at Allen Avenue Junction. A young man is picking suya with a toothpick from the wire guards as the suya seller sharpens his knives. Asha's jailer is playing in the background of a street side video club as street parties wind down. If you're walking in the marketplace, don't throw stones. Even if you do, you just might hit one of your own. Be good to your fellow man. And thank you. Okay, so that was Things from a Saturday in Lansing. I grew up in Lansing, very densely populated, but a really nice community. You know, everyone from every part of Nigeria lived in, you know, from every tribe rather, you know, lived in Lansing. You know, you get to celebrate, you know, Salah, and you know, just any different cultures. It was nice to live in an integrated community. So yeah, this was just kind of like, you know, a regular day, you know, things that you see living in a community like that. So yeah, that's it. Any questions? No questions? Okay.
Yes, no, you're going to continue now.
I mean, I could definitely continue, but you know, I want to, just so I'm not just like reading all the poems and, you know, not giving any context to them.
No.
All right, so I will read another one then.
Well, this last one, just talk.
Talk more about it.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I can do that. I can break that down.
A celebration of the many cultures of Nigeria, the many tribes, the many coming together of.
Yeah, of different tribes. Yeah. So there are actually like 250 tribes in Nigeria, and most of them speak different languages. Even if I'm Yoruba, but there are I'm Yoruba, but I'm also Ijesha. So Ijesha is also a type of Yoruba. So some other people who are Yoruba might not even be able to speak Ijesha, which is weird. So it's, you know, it's a really like a melting pot, Lagos especially, because most people, just the same way people come to New York for a better life, you know, people from different parts of America come to New York, you know, because this is where everything happens. That's how people actually migrate to Lagos. So we have people from, you know, every part of Nigeria. And it was, you know, fun to experience that firsthand. So Things from a Saturday in Lansing, I start with, you know, we have people who sell, how do I call it we call it keke back home, but I think it's like donuts, but, you know, locally made. Is there anything like locally made donuts? Well, I mean, that's how I refer to it. You know, and every morning, once you hear that sound, you know that, okay, it's time to wake up. Because that's our alarm. We don't have alarm clocks. We have, you know, the guys who come with their donuts. So yeah, I write here that that's what awakens the street life's blood. Like, that's how you start your day. You know, it could be a cock crowing, but most times when we hear the fork on the stainless steel. And then, you know, Nigerians say, well, we have a lot of, in Lagos, we have a lot of football fans. You know, I mean, I give to South America, like, you know, for soccer, but, you know, I think we have really good, you know, players and good teams in Nigeria. But, you know, we also have a lot of soccer fans who, you know, they're always either Chelsea fans or Man United fans. So, you know, you go to houses, you know, it's all blue. and yeah, so I read this specifically because I remember one day just seeing like a large cow with like painted with the Chelsea logo, and I'm like, wow, okay, this is this is extreme, but I get it. I get it. You're fans of Chelsea FC, so I put that in because I thought it was intriguing. And then the third line, the village headmaster and teacher Chike, conversing on NTA2. We grew up watching a lot of. We had a lot of shows on TV that kind of a big part of our growing up. And then the village headmaster and teacher Chike are two of like the most prominent characters in TV. Any Nigerian kid, probably born in the 90s or 80s, late 80s. I'm not that old, but I'm old. You would know these characters. And NTA is the Nigerian Television Authority. That's like the big TV station where we used to watch shows like that. And it's not uncommon to find a rat, dead on the street. I see that, in New York too, so it's everywhere. But, we always see rats dead on the ground. So that was like my number 4, the 4th line. And then the 5th line, in crew threatening to, there's always a fight breaking out. There's always drama. This line was just, I was trying to capture like the drama that takes place in almost every corner in Lagos. Like there's never a dull moment. Someone is fighting for something, someone is trying to break somebody's head somewhere. So that's constant, and it's part. You just walk by. Oh, well done. Okay, you don't interfere. You just find your way, because if you get involved, you might get bitten too. So I had to put that in there because it's part of the culture. And then afternoon, the sun is speaking. Like it's really hot in Nigeria. I hear people here when it's like 60 or 70, 80 degrees. They're like, "Hi, it's hot." I'm like, you can't start a chant in Nigeria. It is hot. Like, yeah, emphasis on hot, very hot. So I had to start with that. And then the 7th line for the afternoon, even though we have oil, that's like a major source of revenue in Nigeria. There's still shortage of oil. We still have to export our oil to be refined in other countries before it's sent back to us. So it's really hard to actually buy diesel or oil or fuel to power or get through our days. So there are always long lines at 4 stations, and that so this line I actually like it because I said I'm going to read it out. After waiting in long lines for diesel in the harsh heat of the sun, a group of downfall bus conductors in a motor park are dancing and singing "If You Marry Taxi Driver, I Don't Care" with lively faces. One of like my greatest inspirations for art and writing is Wale Soyinka, and he recently published a book. I think The Chronicles of the Happiest People on Earth. They always refer to Nigerians as the happiest people on earth. And that's just because we're very resilient. Like no matter what happens, you still always find a street party, or you see some guy, just like, even if he doesn't have shoes on, he's just dancing on his own, grooving. So no matter what happened in the day. So I was trying to capture that in that line, like even though they waited in lines just trying to get diesel for their buses, they still go back to their garage and they're having a good time. But it doesn't mean they're not suffering, but they still know how to have a good time. Then the next one is the compounds, busybody and basketball singing. Yeah, that still goes back to the drama on every corner. People are always talking or fighting. Either one of the two. And then there's a search. There's a search for an Omoluabi in the house of back and slabs. Omoluabi means what's the English word, like a child who's like upright, very intelligent, very smart, does what it's told to do. There's an English word for it. My brain is kind of shut now because this is like sleeping time, but I hope you get the idea. So like in every household, they always want, every parent definitely wants their kids to be the best. Like if they're paying for your tuition, then you have to come back with good grades. So that's kind of like the idea. So evening, area boys are hailing a local champion. yeah, there are always people who always want to, this is still part of the drama, people who always want to show off, you know, like even if they don't have, they always want to show off. Oh yeah, and then the last line, one of my favorite songs is titled Jailer, is by Asha, a Nigerian artist. And, you know, we have video clubs in Nigeria where they always play music constantly. And I remember just always walking by and hearing that song, like, if you're walking in the marketplace, don't throw stones, because if you do, you just might hit one of your own. You know, be good to your fellow man. So I think it's just, you know, like, if you live in the glass house, don't throw stones, you know, something like that. I don't know if that's the right word, but correct me if I'm wrong. But that's kind of the idea. But, you know, I just wanted to end it with be good to your fellow man, you know, just always look out for each other. Because that's kind of how I felt like Lawansin, where I grew up, you know, like if anyone goes, I mean, this is not right, but, you know, if anyone in the community has a problem with other people in another community, and they want to fight with that person and they come to Lawansin, everyone is always going to fight for that person. I don't know, now I'm saying too much. But, you know, there was that sense of community. I guess that's the idea, you know. We always wanted to protect our own, and then... Sorry. Well, I guess that's like, okay, I'll wrap it. Yeah, but I mean, that's the last line for Sings Form. So I think I did a good job at breaking it down.
Yeah. Excellent.
Thank you. Yay. Alright. And you know, some of the themes, I wrote it down here, so just so I don't forget. Some of the themes in the book are blatant corruption, the further depreciation of the Nigerian naira, inflation, joblessness, poverty, hunger crisis, high insecurity, oil-related conflict, severe underdevelopment, poor infrastructure, bad governance, failure of leadership, social injustice, dreadful health and education systems, and I said this earlier, deep immorality among some who style themselves as custodians of religion and politics. Ta-da! Thank you. And Surulere actually means patience is a virtue. And it's also a residential area in Lagos where I grew up. So, I don't know. What else can I say?
Thank you.
Yeah. So I hope with these few points of mine, I'll be able to convince you to buy my book.
7 books.
Yeah, several books. You can buy as gifts
You
for
have
it.
2
Yeah.
books.
Oh yes, I do have
Orange.
Yes. Orange. I love it.
Available on
Plus it has-
Amazon.
Yes, it's on Amazon.
I bought
Yeah.
several of them.
Thank you all so much. Thank you all to everyone who supported my work so far, you know, and who's still supporting, and new people too. I'm always, you know, open to, you know, talking about my book and my work, and, you know, feel free to reach out to me. I'm on social media, I'm Model Voss. Feel free to reach out to me, ask any questions anytime, and I'll do my best to respond. But please buy my book, support my work, and, you know, try to learn more about Africa. It's a beautiful place. Sorry, you know, like, I think, like, all the list of themes in my book sounds very horrendous, but it's a beautiful place, Africa, Nigeria. And if you do get a chance to visit, you know, please do. And tell me about it. All right.
Thank you.
No, thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Tara. King Downing. That was amazing. And do buy the book because it's immersive. You have to live with this language and let it just flow over you. And hearing TAIWO tonight speak it when she slowed down was so wonderful and sensuous and musical and delightful. So thank you for letting us hear it live, and we'll play that back and send people to the link of the evening, because it has been recorded with the help of Mike Mokerson and I look forward to seeing that recording. So go to the link, watch it again, buy the book on Amazon, buy both books, Orange and Surulere, and Surulere, Legos, TAIWO ALOBA. Thank you. We'll have another reading, if the audience shows, and we can take a break.
Yes, we will take a break.
Back in a short moment.
Yes, sorry.
That was terrific.
Thank you for the notes. Because I was just on the road. No, thank you for the notes.
Oh, yeah.
So I think I need to put myself out there more so I can actually sell my work. You know, so before I mean, there are other creative projects I want to work on now. Currently, like in like pre-production and stuff. But I think for this one, for my book, I still have to push it more.
Absolutely.
I feel more confident actually talking about it more.
Good.
This is helping me.
That's a start. That's how this like, and to have a start like this in a place like this, you couldn't ask for a better place. So no, I just wanted to congratulate you and make sure. Absolutely.
Thank you. Let's go right.
Caribbean fashion designers have kind of
My brother,
No, I meant your chart.
Oh, the actual physical track.
So this was a gift. Like 2 months ago, I had a dog.
You have a dog?
I had a dog.
Oh, great.
And I walked into such a bar.
Hi, how are you? Oh, thanks, that was great, yeah. Jerome, or yeah.
Arthur.
Okay, nice to meet you. How long have you been here for?
I've been here for.
So I was speaking
What time did you start speaking?
if someone
Like
Oh,
6:30.
from the beginning?
At that
Okay.
time. I came at that time.
That's so nice. I've come at, I feel like I've come at the party time.
Well, that's a good time to come.
Yeah.
The alcohol runs out quick.
Well, I think it might be that. I think I might have just come at exactly the right time. At exactly the right time, yeah.
She's the bartender over there. Yeah.
Okay, so how do I do this? Like, everything. Tell me.
So, do you know this place? Because you're South African.
That's so weird.
Okay, so
At first, I started to use it because I was like, oh, some South African would say, oh, why did you use that, you know, as your cover of your book?
well, I don't mind, but why did you?
Well, I mean, okay, one, I love South Africa. Yeah. You know, so I always wanted to do something where I
Blame
can.
you. I don't
Thank
blame
you.
you. Right.
Thank you. I always wanted to do something where I can, you know, at least just show a bit of my love. You know.
Okay, how much is the book? What do I owe you?
Perhaps, yeah. So you know, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I'm gonna get my book.
Yeah,
But
so-
I need chapter 2, please.
Well, let's see when all these people come back from.
Okay, wait, where is this? Okay, there it is.
I would love
This is South Africa. Yes, you did live. Well, obviously Cape Town, because you're a model, right?
No, actually, I went to Johannesburg.
Yeah.
Sorry. But you know, like, this, I mean, and this is like, almost everyone who goes to Cape Town goes here to take pictures.
Right, and you have to get a Gatsby. Did you get a Gatsby?
No.
It's a type of food. It's like this.
Oh my God, I feel like
We're gonna have to go back.
No, I know I'm definitely going to go back.
Okay,
Like,
well,
whatever happens, I have to find a way to, you know, to find a way back to South Africa.
and I love
But you know, for now, I know I actually went to like the South African restaurant in the city before it closed.
Which one? Because they're not all that great,
Oh
to
yeah.
be honest with you.
I mean, this was a long time, like in 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was in
Oh,
city,
yeah.
I think like around the 50s or so. I don't remember.
Okay, I think that's you. I think I just sent it over.
I mean, I'm sure it's nice to show. I can sign it.
Oh my god!
You let me write.
Can I sit it with you? Okay, because you know, I'm new. Yeah. Somebody.
Yeah.
I'll make sure that I'm writing your name correctly.
Okay. Oh yeah, practice, girl. Yeah, do that. 'Cause, you know.
Yeah, so it's Jarrell.
Yes.
Okay, good.
God, you put it in the
you know, I typed it in a manuscript and then sent it for publication.
When did you start?
Well, so you know, there are two platforms that you can use. I think one is called
I'm not as
Saturday Deal. I can check it for you. And then this is like Create Space on Amazon. So they you know, give you options of how to use the templates.
And they help you with covers and everything.
Well, you have to like, but I mean, they, how do I explain it? They make it easy for you to, if you have like
So apparently the other
this is the time to do it. Yeah, it's like.
I need you every single day of my life. You didn't run, you didn't hide, you knew I wanted just to hold you. And if you did, you knew in time we'd meet again, 'cause I'd have told you. That you were meant to be near me, and I want you to hear it. Another road, but maybe I would find another kind of mind there. Then suddenly I see you. They tell you I need you every single day of my life. You didn't run, you didn't hide, you didn't know what I would find there. Another road, but maybe I would find another kind of mind there. Then suddenly I see you. They tell you I need you every single day of my life. You didn't run, you didn't hide, you knew I wanted just to hold you. And if you did, you knew in time we'd meet again, 'cause I'd have told you. Then you were meant to be near me, and I want you to hear me say we'll be together every day. Got to get you into my life. Got to get you into my life. Got to get you into my life. What can I where can I be when I'm with you? I wanna stay there. If I'm true, I'll never leave, and if I do, I know the way there. Suddenly I see you. Did I tell you I need you every single day? Every single day. Every single day of my life. Got to get you into my life. Got to get you into my life. Got to get you into my life. Honey pie, you were driving me frantic. Sail across the Atlantic to be where you belong. Honey pie, you were driving me crazy. I'm in love but I'm lazy. Won't you please come home? You became the legend of the silver screen. And now the thought of meeting you makes me weak in the knees. Honey pie, you were driving me crazy. I'm in love but I'm lazy. Won't you please come back? Honey pie, won't you please come back? She was a Chardonnay in a bar stool away, and I was thinking of something clever to say. Blinded by her lip gloss, but not at a total loss, I managed to turn and say, "Excuse me, miss, but by chance is that white wine from the south of France?" Oh, she said, "How did you know? After all, it has the color of a fine cru from Bordeaux. Definitely deeper jaune than a Grigio, a Sauvignon Blanc, possiblement, but actually it's a Chardonnay, which is to say a Chablis, or a semi-dry if it's from Cali, or a Burgundy, though not to be confused with that rouge from the Napa Valley." I like the way she said the words en français. A bit of Bordeaux, Binoche, Françoise Ardet. Mesmerized by the depth of her knowledge, she sounded like a summa cum laude from Salina Theater College. Sometimes I like a wine with a recent past. Taste a clean rush, fruit at its last blush. A flute of Frizzolette, that's a Prosecco from Venice. But beware, that hangover can be a menace. It's a Chardonnay, which is to say a Chablis, or a semi-dry if it's from Cali, or a Burgundy, though not to be confused with that rouge from the Napa Valley. I like a good sunset, a bon picot if I'm devil may care. For Rouge, Côte du Rhône, Malbec, or Syrah. But don't forget that Pinot Noir. Our mutual fascination with the grape, the aging in the barrel, and those distant vineyards to which we wish to travel. Perfect combination of substance and circumstance led to a midnight romance in a bar far from France. There's something in the grape, Make no mistake, it was something in the rain. Chardonnay. She was a Chardonnay and a bar stool away.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ideal Glass, your neighborhood vendor of pure, 100% guaranteed glass and glazing services. EPA approved, free trade, PET and HDPE free. Whatever your custom glass needs, we custom install them all. Should you suffer the damage of a brick thrown through your plate glass window one night, Ideal Glass is there within minutes to provide swift, clean, courteous replacement service or insurance estimates. Ideal Glass. Finally, you can see clearly. Ideal Glass, through which you'll see just exactly what you want to see. Ideal Glass. At last, a glazier you can trust. Shit.
What's in your closet? Come on out. Got the t-shirt, got the hat. This shit looks fat. But you're gonna love the way you look. I guarantee it. What to wear? Do I care? Oh yeah. I'd do anything to be one of those well-dressed GQ motherfuckers. But I never get it right. Tuxedo and a speedo, not tonight. Jeans and a jockstrap, not disco leggings, tie-dyed tank top. I just look like some middle-aged carrot top. I just don't know anymore. Hell, I just want to be fashionable like... I don't know anymore! Where is my love? Where's my love? I remember. I was 11, 12. It was summer camp. Camp Kibo, New Hampshire. We sat by the lake, on benches, kissing. I was was 11, maybe 12, about girls. I